So the last thing we're going to cover today in relation to the Transformers Hasbro Pulse Fan First Friday and all the news that they dropped on us was that of the overarching theme itself, which was the Transformers the Movie 1986 release, and the big announcement, no surprise in all honesty, of a 35th anniversary re-release. Historically, and I posted this on my Twitter when the news broke at that moment, that historically, Transformers every 5 years has been getting a new release of the 86 movie. Original VHS was 1986, and then when the 10th anniversary came in 1996, Rhino did a release of the movie. It was funny, one of the guys in the Hasbro Pulse thing actually showed the Canadian Rhino release, which was the one that had the uncensored verbiage, if you will, and everything. That was the 10th anniversary release in 1996, the first major VHS release of the 86 movie since its original print run. Then in 2001, 5 years later, the very first DVD version of the 86 movie came out. It was that special collector's edition with the yellow on the top, and that was the first DVD version of it. That DVD version, unfortunately, was kind of flawed, and it sucks because that was like my go-to DVD for so many years. I used to bring that DVD everywhere to show people the 86 movie, but it actually had a lot of flaws. The Junkion scenes were very grainy, and the masters that they had for that weren't that great, and you really notice it like after Ultra Magnus dies and the Junkions attack, and then when they go back to Unicron and his transformation, you see a huge change in quality there. So it's not the best version, but it was the DVD for the longest time for a lot of Transformer fans, and unlike a VHS that wears out where you could watch it multiple times and not have to worry about it, was kind of light on the extras too, unfortunately. I believe it just had a Vince DiCola interview at the time. So it had something unique to it, but otherwise was pretty light. But it was the first DVD version, and it came out at a time when DVDs were just in its infancy. Then you add on another 5 years. In 2006, the 20th anniversary DVD one. This one was pretty packed, had a lot of great extras in it. If you pre-ordered it in some places, you got this special lenticular cover extra sheet where you could have it turn between Hot Rod Rodimus and Optimus holding the Matrix. I really dug that one. It was really nice, really cool, and was the color corrected version for a lot of people, and was actually the reference material for a lot of Hasbro people when they were designing and coloring a lot of their Transformer stuff for the 86 movie. And then we pretty much didn't have anything after that, but then for the 30th anniversary, for the 2016, we got the Blu-ray steel case, the one with the Optimus and Rodimus Matrix thing going on there. Looks really cool. Again, it was just to give the 86 movie a Blu-ray release and a nice steel book, and it was really nice. And now we're at the 35th anniversary. So what are they giving us this time around? How could they top it from what we've gotten before? Well, they have here what is called the restored 4K Blu-ray edition with color correction. It's going to come in two different versions, a limited edition steelbook version with Rodimus Prime opening the Matrix on the cover inside Unicron, and on the back of it, it's going to have Galvatron facing against him in his Behold Galvatron pose, oddly enough. I guess that was, I don't know, I don't want to say it was traced, but it looks very similar to that. And that's for the steelbook version, and it's, again, a 4K Blu-ray UHD. And then there's the standard 4K Ultra HD release, which is going to have, again, another awesome custom-made cover, which the Battle of Autobot City, the opening of the Matrix, Optimus versus Megatron on the back. All of this art, by the way, done by Matt Ferguson, who's a very talented artist that has worked on a bunch of multiple different brands and big movies and stuff, so it looks really cool. There's a little bit of misinformation that was said for a quick moment. I just want to address it. Kelly, the franchise marketer, mentioned that they were DVDs quickly at some point. These are not DVDs. These are Blu-rays, so keep that in mind. 4K stuff is always Blu-rays. It's never DVDs, unless it's the HD DVDs, but those didn't really survive. According to what they say here, it's going to have bonus features, which are storyboards, deleted alternative scenes. So I get a feeling it might be an amalgamation of the previous extras that we got with the 20th anniversary release. I find that 2006 one was really jam-packed with a lot of stuff that was unique to it, and I think it's going to be a bleed over of that stuff to it, which had, again, like that slight extension of the not death of Optimus Prime, but I guess the escape of Autobot City, which led into the death of Optimus Prime. There was a little extended scene there. I don't know, maybe there might be new stuff, maybe new interviews, new little extras. They mentioned the storyboards. Again, those were included on the 2006 20th anniversary DVD set. So we'll see what is there. Might be new, might be old stuff. Maybe they'll do an amalgamation of past releases or releases that were done across the different regions and get all the different interviews and put them all into one place. That would be really cool too. Make it like the ultimate edition that people could look forward to buying. But we'll see what happens. They say here that if you pre-order the limited edition Steelbook version from shoutfactory.com, which that's going to be going live May 24th on the Monday, you will get an exclusive lithograph, which is based off of, again, the Steelbook's cover itself with Rodimus, so you know what I gotta do come Monday. Looks really good, but otherwise the standard release, which will be the 4K Blu-ray with the basic cover and stuff, will be available later on all different retailers, so probably Amazon and everything like that. But pretty hype. Pretty hype. Looks really good. Again, I own this movie a million times over. My little Twitter post there showing just those versions doesn't even skim the surface. I got the Japanese version, Chinese versions, French versions. I have so many different versions of the 86 movie just because of how important it was to my Transformer fandom and growing up and everything. And how, like, no joke, I probably watched this movie more than any single piece of media ever in existence. So, and again, that 2001 DVD, I used to carry that around everywhere during those infant days of DVDs and stuff. Like, it was like, oh, you got a DVD player? I'm bringing the 86 movie. It was crazy stuff. I'm excited about this. I'm really happy about it. I'm going to try to get both versions just because I'm crazy. Just because I'm crazy. I'm just going to get both versions. But yeah, so check it out. It's going to be, again, shoutfactory.com if you want to get the Steelbook. Otherwise, just wait it out. There's going to be a standard 4K that'll be available on Amazon and everything later on, and will look just as juicy. I imagine the extras on the inside won't be any different between one or the other. It's just really the box and what you want from the box itself and its display. But that's more or less it from the Hasbro Fan First Friday. Hopefully we'll get another one really soon, get some more stuff. I mean, the big complaint that they kept saying was, oh, stuff kept leaking before they could announce it. And I don't blame them. I think they need to do these more frequently, in all honesty. You know, I think they really should. Because when you really think about it, there was a lot of people that were unhappy with this Fan First Friday, and the dislikes were really crazy compared to the likes. And I was just going like, you know what? I think people would have had a very different tune. I mean, I was hyped. I liked what I saw, but I think people in general would have had a different tune if they didn't know about the Wreck-Ar. If they didn't get to see it, if they didn't know about the Slug, if they didn't get to see it in advance from the leaks and stuff. You guys got to outpace what's going on with all the Vietnamese thieves and the thieves on YouTube that are posting stuff ahead of everyone else. You got to outbeat these people. That's the only way you could do it. If you guys show it before anyone else does, it takes the wind out of the sails, so to speak. So that's what I pretty much pose to Hasbro, is they need to really do these more often, have a better communication with the fandom, and let us know what's going on the inside, and really show stuff off as soon as possible and get us hyped for the product. I understand that there has to be some kind of synergy that goes on with the Hasbro Pulse website, and that way when announcement happened, they could also say, and going on right now, pre-orders are going up. I understand that's what really causes the delays more than anything else, but sooner or later, we're going to have to figure out a way to kind of go beyond that. But yeah, that's it more or less to say, guys. The only other thing also is Hasbro, again, I think I mentioned in the previous segment, but Hasbro was also showing off some Transformers the Movie t-shirts. So if you want to check those out, 80st.com, and there's a Hasbro Pulse promo code to get 30% off. I Still Function is the promo code. You get 30% off your first order. This isn't a sponsorship by the podcast. This is just something that Hasbro is throwing out to the fans if they want some 86 movie and studio series t-shirt merchandise. But that's it more or less. Hope everyone learned something today. And tomorrow is the Transformer Slag podcast live stream Saturday night hangout. Woo woo. Be sure to come by and check that out too. And I'll see you tomorrow.